Tom will let you guys know when we're ready to go.
You didn't bring her friend? You didn't bring her friend?
Tell me when you're pushing, Marianne, so I can look up.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to hit go live and it'll take like 2 seconds usually.
All right, I'm watching for you.
Okay.
And hello, everybody. It is Tom Chenault, and it is the Network Marketing Leadership Show. Adrian's down in San Antonio, Texas. I have no idea what he's doing, but he's going to be here for the commercials today. But it is going to be a great show, like an epic show. Hopefully you enjoyed Kim Kiyosaki last week, but I'll tell you, this week is going to be off the charts. I've got so much respect for this couple because they don't need to be doing what they're doing. And I've been to the LT Academy. I've been down to their events in Texas. I have been a fan and a follower forever of Larry and Taylor Thompson, or Taylor and Larry Thompson, in whichever order you want to do it. These two people are committed to this profession, and they're committed to not buying the smoke and mirrors, but learning how to make your business better. And what I love about them is that they're doing it across the board. They're doing it for companies, they're doing it for leaders, and they're doing it for Joe Lunchbox, people like me. So I love the fact that they are absolutely for everybody, and they're strong enough and smart enough to tell people the truth and show people where the rubber hits the road. Hello, Larry and Taylor. How are you?
Hey, Tom. How are you?
Hey, Tom. How are you?
Good to be with you. With Joe out here.
Well, we are so happy to have you. I mean, not only do you, every time I see you, the first time I ever met you, Larry, you didn't look so healthy. And I'm going, that guy's going to die anytime. In comes Taylor.
Okay. When was this?
Everything changed. And I have watched you go like this. And it's just unbelievable. And I'm watching your friends like follow your lead. Roberti, getting better looking every day. Jeff Weisberg, getting better looking every day. John Clark, getting better looking every day. I think your absolute commitment toward being better is contagious, Larry, and I want to thank you for that.
Well, listen, I thank you for saying that and noticing that, but you know what? That's what it's all about, getting better and staying better and just doing the best that you can on any given day of circumstances of life. And so we're excited about everything we're doing right now.
Well, and it also helps whenever you marry somebody, younger too. With a lot of kids and stuff. Yeah, that'll keep you on your toes and keep you young.
It's called leadership and it's called intelligence,
Amen to that. So what's going on before we get to the LT Leadership Academy? We're going to talk about that a lot because I tell you, I went down to one of their events and I was there with John Fleming. I was there with Al Bala. I was there and I ended up with about 25 pages of perfectly written, handwritten notes that were absolutely beautiful. And I have to give credit where credit is due. I stole those from Sean Murphy. So I sat in the back the whole time and just paid attention and riveted on you. But I'll tell you, Sean Murphy is a note-taking son of a gun. And if anybody ever wants to buy those notes, they're probably worth a lot of money. But you guys have been changing the world. What do you think about what's going on inside of COVID-19, inside of people being sheltered at home, inside of this opportunity that all of us have right now to change the world? I mean, this is an epic opportunity, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I have to tell you, Tom, you came to our first event, which was last September, which was our first gig summit. But you were also there in June, right? As we were standing on stage whenever Larry so profoundly announced that we were going to have our first gig summit. Well, you heard it for the first time on stage. Well, so did I. On stage,
That's
right?
exciting. Well, that's the way he rolls, though. That's pretty cool. That's what you love and hate about him, right?
It's true. It is a double-edged sword. You have to hang on Nelly. You got to hang on for dear life. but usually I mean, like typically it's always in the right direction. And I will definitely say it was the right call at the right time. You know, that cliche, right times, right set of circumstances, right situation. It was definitely perfect. And the reason I say that is because it ties right into exactly what you just said, why we're here right now in this set of circumstances for COVID-19. And, you know, when we talk about like the gig summit, and we talk about, you know, this is truly the average person's best chance. But whenever we transitioned into this and we had our second gig summit in February, and then all of this hit. And I will tell you that it's been quite interesting to watch, because people were like a little scared, a little nervous. But now more than ever, what we're talking about is so important, because it's not a conversation goes by that we don't hear from. My best check ever, my best month ever. I mean, right now the fish are jumping in the boat, right? And now more than ever, fundamentals and basics are imperative.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and Tom, here's the interesting thing about it. This is not the first time in my career I've been in a set of circumstances, certainly not to the degree that we're experiencing here now, or the dynamics whatsoever. But I remember coming out of the 70s, going into the 80s with the riots in the street and the gas lines. You know, they buy gas on the even or odd number of days of the week based on your license plate on your car and all of that stuff. But here is what's happening. It's a little bit different now. We're facing, there's so many pluses and minuses going on at the same time. The plus is that right now, like Taylor said, most everybody is experiencing their best month ever for their companies. Most everybody getting rank advancements and all of that. But that's a double-edged sword, because here's the deal, okay? This has happened because of external circumstances that nobody had control over, okay? And now let me bring that back here a little bit here. That's an artificial spike is another way to describe that, okay? I love artificial spikes. I love them. But generally behind every artificial spike comes a real valley. Now, everybody's having these great times, and I'm happy. And I hope that proves out to be a baseline for everybody. I really do. But the reality is, if you look at our business, like any business, and I've been taught this way for 50 years, what you do this month in activity shows up next month. What you do this quarter shows up next quarter in results this year, next year. And so what everyone's got to pay attention to here and be careful of, and that's what Taylor was talking about, fundamentals. If this artificial spike that has happened, I would like to go back to last February, March, and April, for example. April, May, or June. Okay, just let's go backwards a little bit. Last year, 2019. What was done then that caused this spike now? Okay, what was that? And the answer was, in most cases, not much. And fundamentals were being ignored to a large extent because of the things that were going on. So what I'm sharing with you is that, yes, I love the fish jumping into boats, but you got to be able to be prepared for that to become from basic fundamentals. And now you got people's attention. Fundamentals are important right now. Basic fundamentals, just like in baseball, it's run, hit, catch, throw. There's fundamentals that need to be applied to take advantage of this artificial spike, or there will be a correction. After every correction up, there's a correction down to a new baseline. So it's time to pay attention in a very positive way.
And what I love about what you're saying, and every right now, I mean, I'm on Facebook, I'm getting telephone calls all the time, and everybody's a genius because the fish are jumping in the boat and all these people's organizations are just running away from them. And they think they're the smartest people in the room. They're buying stuff. And they're not building that foundation. It's kind of smoke and mirrors based on the economy and what's going on out there that people are feverishly joining. But people need to be trained the right way. So you're creating that foundation and that strong baseline right now, because you've got a chance, because you've got people's attention. And what Larry's trying to tell you is pay attention to that and learn those fundamentals. So when this thing does correct, that balloon does pop. There's not just air in there. There's actually foundation rocks in that balloon, so to speak, that's going to absolutely help your business survive when it ultimately does correct, right?
Absolutely. I will tell you, and I won't say the name of the company, but if I said the name of the company, every single one of you would know who it is. And I remember getting a phone call from a top leader. They called Larry and they said the company was just going straight up.
Yeah.
And the company leader at the top, he said, Larry, I need some help. He said, because I have all these people making all this money and they have no idea how they made it.
Yeah.
And I need some help. And sure enough, that never happened because he actually ended up passing away before that meeting could ever transpire. But that company at the same time, as fast as it went up, it's now no longer here.
Yeah. You don't want that to happen to you.
No.
And right now you've got a little walking around money and you're stuck at home. And this is the time when you go in there and you learn those basics and you be that leader that you're trying to tell people that you are, and you be that leader that you want your upline to be, right?
Well, there's no doubt about that. And it's also time to be aggressive, and it's also time to be conservative at the same time. Okay, aggressive with your daily method of operation. That's vital. Don't get network marketing drunk off of the rank. Don't get network marketing drunk off of the check going up, okay? Because you can drown in that, okay? And here's what's happening. That, again, that artificial spike, that real value that comes with it, I'm hoping that most people will get a new baseline on the uphill. That's what I'm hoping. And I think that will happen. But then it's going to be the companies that are focused on fundamentals and distributors within those companies that are focused on fundamentals that can carry that on. Because right now, if you're attracting them, how you bring them in is how you bring them up. And if it's off of the mystical, what's happening right now, you understand what I'm trying to say, I believe.
Somebody text me that. How you bring them in is how you bring them up.
Yes.
Because that's what people miss. And if you just have them join with a click, they're going to leave you with a click. If you just sign them up instead of enroll them, they are going to be gone at the next hot deal. You've got to develop that relationship and go deep and get these people ingrained in your culture, your system, and your heart, right?
Yes,
right.
Absolutely. There's no question about it. I mean, like this, and here's the thing, what's so easy to do is so easy not to do, right? And sometimes we lose sight of that whenever things come so easy. But now more than ever, because you don't have to, it's almost like I use the analogy with the people that we're talking to. You know, when you're in shape is the time to go to the gym. When you're still in good shape, keep going to the gym so you can keep your shape, right? Don't get out of shape and then decide to go to the gym, right? It's the same concept.
I've got so many friends right now that are saying to me, oh my gosh, I wish I had more people in my business because this entire situation is so great right now, but I just didn't do enough preparation last season to be in the game during this complete lockdown that we're in order to capitalize on it. And what people need to understand is plant that tree for the next situation like this, because it's inevitable it's going to go up. It's inevitable it's going to go down. And the better foundation and the more trained people you have, the better off you're going to be. Right, you guys?
Absolutely.
Listen, I couldn't agree more with that. And especially right now, if you're bringing them in fast, okay, make sure you're bringing them in on that foundation of fundamentals so that as no matter what happens, they will continue to have that base to work from. And everyone says, well, I'm bringing up with the fundamentals. Listen.
We got to take a break. I completely blew the break to smithereens. This is the Network Marketing Leadership Show. We'll be back right after this on the Genesis Communication Network.
Yay.
And we're back. This is the commercial, everybody. And so we got little Adrian Chenault here. And I know he doesn't want to talk to me. I know he wants to talk to Larry and Taylor. Hello, Adrian.
Hello. This is so exciting. And man, Tom, you can't be giving Larry a juicy.
Oh, that was so crazy. I did it.
I was going, oh no.
I know it. I did it with 16 seconds to go. And fortunately, he took a breath and I was able to cut him off. But that was completely amateurish, Larry. And I am sorry about that.
Oh man. Well, I was just sitting here listening to everything you guys are sharing, and it's so spot on. You know, it's like, this is, you know, a crazy time where it's so counterintuitive in the network marketing world, as you guys are saying, that, you know, where so much of the rest of the world has these challenges, that there's actually some, you know, some additional interest that's coming to this profession. But it's also so important to do things the right way, because if you do in the wrong way, then as soon as that backdrop goes away, you're going to be in big trouble, and it's going to be right back to the way it was before. And so talk about how to build relationships in this time when, you know, people who aren't in your business are probably scared and experiencing a lot of pressure on their life that maybe you're not. But how do you show up? What's the right way to show up in that environment?
Well, I mean, fortunately, you know, what I think is very powerful. I mean, like, Tom, you can probably agree to this. I mean, like, you know, whenever I started, whenever Larry started, whenever you started, we didn't have the benefit of technology. I mean, if we would have, you know, 25 years ago, if this would have happened, how it would have impacted our business, right? But we're so blessed to have the technology like what we have right here, the Zoom. I mean, I will tell you that I really believe that leveraging the technology in the way we have has developed people and relationships even more so, because people are looking for connection. They're looking for community. And because we've been able to do this, I mean, like, some of my friends and lady friends, I mean, we've had PJ parties, you know, on Zoom, you know, with a glass of wine, and have several of us and just catch up and have girl talk, just like we were sitting in the same room together. So I think that piece has opened our eyes even more so, because we can't connect, that we're striving for more connection and seeing the value of it, because we can't go to live meetings. So we're creating our own. So I think it's been very eye-opening, very revealing how important those relationship and true connections really are.
That's really a great point. And, you know, one of the things, you know, that you were talking about with this PJ party or whatever it is, you know, most people out there in the world, they're not getting invited. Nobody's putting something together like that for them. They've run out of interesting things to watch on Netflix. They're going, what on earth am I going to do? I can't go anywhere. And to be the kind of person that is offering a great way to connect with somebody that actually sounds like fun, and is, you know, creating relationships and memories, you know, it's like the proverbial backyard camp out, right? It's like, well, we're just going to make the most of this thing and figure out a way to have some fun and, you know, and create connection. And I think that's really cool.
Well, it's just kind of like you can create a hanging around the campfire concept, right?
Exactly.
Exactly. And that's really where you get to know people and really get to know what they're all about. Because, you know, you and I both know that sometimes people don't join our companies because they want to make money. They join our companies because they're looking for recognition. They're looking for a place to belong. They're looking for some sort of cause. And this really furthers that and really deepens that, especially whenever they're lost inside of their community, or they're alone together, right?
Yeah, that's right. All right. I'm a terrible sponsor. Over to you, Tom.
All right, contactmapping.com, and we're coming back. Welcome back. It is Tom Chenault, and it is the Network Marketing Leadership Show. And you have got to follow Larry and Taylor Thompson on Facebook, on Instagram, and their website. So Taylor, tell these people how to find you to, no matter where they are in cyberspace. Will you please?
Yes, if they want to go to Facebook, they can find us on our page at Larry and Taylor. So it'd be facebook.com/Larry and Taylor, or profiles, Larry and Taylor Thompson, and our website, which is the easiest way, is wealthbuilding.pro, which is our wealth building academy, online academy.
It's unbelievable. And not only can you get what they're currently doing, but Larry was at the ANMP a couple of years ago, and they honored him for 50 years in the profession, massive contribution. The icons that flew in from all over the world to Dallas, Texas, to watch him get those awards with Garrett McGrath and Sylvia McGrath and the people at the ANMP was unbelievable. And you should actually, or you guys are going to speak again. It's going to be an online ANMP on August 22nd. You guys are committed to both speak at that, aren't you?
Oh, nobody's asked us.
Nobody's asked.
I just did.
Okay.
So you're in. So we're going to make sure that that's an absolute must.
And I have to tell you, so at that event, you know, we recognized Larry there, and I'm so grateful for Garrett and Sylvia and all of you there at the ANMP doing that. But as a result of that 50 years, this is what's about to be launched here. The Millionaire Training Book Larry Thompson, this is what you saw on stage, and all the people and all the stories that you saw roll across the stage, their stories are going to be inside this book, a 50 years compilation, and all of their legacies that they've gone on to create as a result of this training. This book is about to go to print here at about the 1st of August. So I'm shamelessly doing a plug for the book. You can actually order signed copies at themillionairetraining.com. So that was my shameless plug.
No, that's not
You saw how
shameless.
thankful that was. Okay. But Tom, this is exciting, especially because I got to be honest with you. The Millionaire Training has been out there for 40 years, and it's been the cornerstone of what's helped build our industry. And I've kind of had a little bit of disrespect for it because I've never listened to it. It was the first training class I did in Herbalife, and there's a whole story about how it got recorded and what took place. And so I've never listened to it. And what's in those Millionaire Trainings, there's no edits there. It's just straight as it was. And that's what Jim Rohn poured into me. That's what Bobby DePew poured into me. Bobby from the psychological, strategic, tactical perspective. Jim from the philosophical perspective. That's what poured into the first training class. And I'll forever be thankful to them for what the early part of my life, the mid part of my life, and the ends of their life before they went home, okay? But also, what I'm so thankful for Mark Hughes giving me the reins to guide Herbalife for the first 13 years with these concepts and principles and what has come out of that. And we've captured all of that in this book. This is not a regular book. I will tell you right now, this is a read over and over and over again. And I'm touched by what this is because there's about 15 stories in here. We didn't write them. They wrote them. It isn't Lamborghini Bikini. It's about how the concepts and the principles and the fundamentals that they apply to their life and what's happened. This is really something spectacular.
It isn't Lamborghini Bikini. That's right. Okay, well, hell, I'm not buying it then. That is so funny. That is cute as a button. But you guys, and how about Henley, Ron Henley? I mean, I think about
Ron's in the book.
Ron's in the book.
Hell yes, he is. He's got to be. The guy's one of the greatest. I mean, the people that you know, I started following you guys, which linked me to so many, and people, it was crazy how that all went down. Because once I hooked on with you, I was able to, I'm kind of a contact mapping kind of guy. So I started reaching around to the people that were mentors to you or friends to you. And now I've got a bunch of those people that are friends of mine. I've never met anything like your circle of influence. You have some deep thinking, experienced, loving people just trying to give this profession back to the younger generation. And I think that book is going to be the ticket.
It will be.
It will be. And I will tell you, I'm going to give him do we need to go? Do we need
No,
to?
we're good.
Okay. So I wanted to say this too, and I'm going to brag on Larry because he just, he's got we'll call it a second notch in his gun. The second company that he's mentored to $1 billion in sales. So just in 2019, they just hit their $1 billion. So he's now mentored 2 companies to over $1 billion in sales. So I just had to throw that in because I'm so proud of him and so proud of what he's been able to accomplish.
And I'm proud of him having a wife that loves him that much. I've got one of those, and it is unbelievable, but we have to take a break. So we're coming back right after this on the Network Marketing Leadership Show. Thank you, GCN and Ted Anderson, for keeping us in business all these years. We'll be right back. And we're back. We got Adrian here. Hello, Adrian.
I'm back. That was great. Congratulations, Larry and Taylor. That's remarkable.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you. Thank you. We're super excited.
That is so cool. Well, and I'll tell you, so, really my first big exposure, you guys had been on the radio show, I think, prior to the big 50-year tribute at the ANMP, but that was really that just clicked the whole thing into place for me. And, talking to guys that have been so powerfully impacted by your legacy and your belief in them, and just all of those pieces, it really it shows you that like like people, this being a people business is not a lip service kind of a statement. Like you have had a profound impact on, you know, big names in the profession like Roberti and others, but you know, and Brian McMullen is absolutely a big name in the profession, but not this big personality. You know, he you know, from the most introverted guy probably to ever be extremely successful in this space to one of the more extroverted and everything in between. You know, it's really about the kind of relationships that you build. And so, you know, what's one thing that you can share in terms of the way that you have poured into people's lives that's had that kind of impact on them, Larry?
Well, the biggest thing is knowing for a fact that there's nothing special about me. So then my first goal is to make sure that they know there's nothing special about them. Okay, because if I can do this with the limitations that I had, the long-haired hippie construction worker with no education, no self-confidence, no self-esteem, okay, never finished high school because I was too shy to get the oral book report that was required then. But Bobby DePue and Jim Rohn, you got to realize, Jim Rohn and I joined the same company, Bestline Products, in 1968. We came to the same meeting and we both joined the same company the same night. And 90 days later, he's the vice president, and Bobby and Jim are pouring into me all of these things. And it's fascinating because I didn't know for years why, okay? But they saw something in me that they saw in themselves. That was poured into them by Earl Shope and Snackenberg and all of those guys that poured into them. And they realized that they could do it because of those fundamental concepts and principles. And they saw that if they could share those with me, if they did it, I could do it. So if the short answer is, I honestly believe that anybody, regardless of education, experience, good or bad, anybody can do it, okay? If they practice those handful of half a dozen fundamentals over and over again, regardless of the circumstance of company, products, regulatory, they can always succeed. And I know they can. I know they can. There's nothing special about us. It's the concepts and principles that's good. That's what the issue is.
That is so great. And you're 100, you know, it's that tension of everybody is special and nobody's special that I think you bring about so well. And, you know, it's really those people, the thing that I reflected on is you're absolutely right. You gave them the principles, you gave them the fundamentals, but you also you know, they felt like you saw them, that you believed in them, and you gave that gift to everybody. And I think that for each one of us, as we try to become leaders, that's that same set of principles that we have to apply.
And always lead by example, not conversation, okay? Example. Because there's always conflicts in life, no matter what happens, and that people they understand you not necessarily in prosperity. People understand who you really are in adversity. And the reality is, life has lots of adversity, no matter what. Money doesn't change anything but money problems, guys. That's all it changes, okay? And there's a whole lot of people that are unhappy that that have a whole ton of money.
Well, and Larry's always, you know, you've heard that phrase, you know, practice what you preach. You know, Larry turns that around and he says, preach what you practice.
Wow.
You understand the difference?
You know, there's a big difference in those two.
Oh my gosh.
And I will tell you, I mean, I live with this man. I've been with him for, you know, 18 years now. I can't even believe it. But I mean, what you see is what you get. I mean, he's no different sitting here in front of you than he is with our family every single day. That's just who he is. But he preaches what he practices without question.
And I got to tell you, at this stage of my life, if it wasn't for Taylor and her energy and the girls and stuff, I would be probably happy to hang up my boots. But I got too much in me left. Okay. And Taylor's talking about having 2 B's in the resume. I want at least 3, maybe 4. And I know over the next 5, 6, 7 years, I think we can get there. I really believe it. I honestly believe that, okay? The question is, which company, which distributor got enough courage to go down this path with us? If they got it, come on. I dare you. I dare you. We'll take you there.
All right. Well, we ran through. It's a nice job, Adrian. Okay, so we are back in the show because I want that. I definitely will figure out a place. So we're just going on. I'm not going to do another intro because we are on fire here. And I dare you. And I'll never forget when Taylor she goes, Tom, The guy is relentless. He returns every call. He answers when he sees a phone ring, he answers it. He returns every email. He is like this every day of his life. And I love that about Larry Thompson. I pride myself on being very similar to that. I can't tie his shoes, but I'll tell you one thing right now. We are a couple of old guys, and I've been in this business for 33 years. He's been in it for 50. You're looking at a guy, and I hear so many people, oh, I've been doing it for 3 or 4 years. I'm all burned out. Here's a guy doing it over 51 years. His beautiful wife, I don't know how long she's been doing it, but she's been with this lunatic for 18 years, which is worth about another 30 in just duty time, because he's a maniac like my poor wife, and he sucks everything out of it. Hang on a second, James. Come on over here. You got to see look at this. So look at, here's Marianne's right-hand person. Look at that. Is that crazy enough? So look at these t-shirts. We've just, that has been my motto forever. And so this is James Moore. We're very COVID sensitive here because we don't want me dying at age 69 or Larry dying. So everybody wears masks all around us, and I wear a mask as soon as I get off the air. But this is James Earl Moore. This is the new t-shirts. Thanks, James. Beautiful job.
Great t-shirt.
Love like crazy, then love more. That's got to be your motto. And fire your brain, hire your heart, and stop looking at people as prospects. Look at them as human beings that you can contribute to. And understand, when you bring somebody into your business, you are taking a responsibility for their life. And it's hard. It takes a long time. Most people fail. And you've got to be able to understand that you are absolutely cause. And those people are not looking at the company. They're not looking at the comp plan. They're not looking at the anything, the product. They're looking at you. Take that responsibility on. Learn from Larry and Taylor. And you got a fighting chance of taking those people out of the wilderness, right, you guys?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Without question.
Yeah,
All right. So here's the real deal. Right now, with everyone is we're talking about the fish jumping in the boat, okay? And that is going on, and that's going to continue for a while. But wouldn't it be fascinating if the fundamentals, those half a dozen fundamentals that are easy to learn, but as Taylor said, what's easy to do is easy not to do, okay? These guys in the book, the number one of most of the top companies are in this book that came up with these concepts and these principles, okay? So wouldn't it be fascinating here if the market is out there, especially in the gig world where there's over 60 million people looking for $500 to $1,500 a month, wouldn't it be fascinating if you can learn how to track that and be what I call a 15% or a 5% or want to make $5,000, $50,000 a month, know how to track that where the market is. The market is in the gig world, fun, simple, magical, where they don't have to get into these complex trainings. And everyone talks about personal growth, and I'm a big believer in personal growth. It comes from activity. You can only learn so much from Arnold watching his videos, okay? He can show you all day long, but until you start lifting those weights, you're not going to get any growth. It's not going to happen. And so that's what we pride ourselves in, is basic fundamentals that anybody can learn regardless of life circumstances, because they're all out there.
We talk about inside the gig economy, we start talking about an audience, language, and behavior. And because that language has shifted, that audience is different. And so we talk about speaking the right language. If I'm going to Spain, I better learn how to speak some Spanish to where my audience can understand, or at least have a good translator to be able to communicate what I'm trying to tell them. And so that's exactly what we're seeing in our world, Tom. Whenever Larry talks about gig economy, when we're talking about 57 million people looking for $500 to $1,000 a month, actually it's $500 to $1,500 a month. Listen, guys, you can't be speaking the language of Lamborghini bikini, right? You can't be talking $10,000 a month if they're only looking for $500. Right? You've got to know who your audience is, and you've got to learn how to speak that language so they can hear what you're saying, so they can resonate with what you're trying to communicate to them. Because otherwise, it's like two ships passing in the night. They're not going to hear what you have to say.
Your 80-15-5 training, talk about that a little bit. It's so profound. I mean, what is that all about? Because people need to get that concept locked in their soul, So when it comes out of their mouth, they're looking at people for what they want, not what we want them to be. Talk about that a little bit, will you please?
Absolutely. 80, 15, and 5 is what I was taught 52 years ago. Now, it wasn't those words, but that's what I was taught. It's Ron Henley over the last couple of years that coined it the Thompson rule, because it was out there and we started sharing that with it. Especially Ray Higdon then started picking up on it, sharing it with this group. So it became the 80, 15, and 5 Thompson rule. Here's what's important about this. Okay, and a lot of people, the 80-20 rule, you've heard that, where 80% of your business is done by 20% of your people. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about 80, 15, and 5 as far as income parameters as a description only. And 80% of the people on your team, and this is since day one, it's very important today with gig. Okay, it's more important with gig. But 80% of those people will be happy with $500 to $1,500 a month as long as they feel good about you, they feel good about it, what they're doing, and they feel good about themselves, where they're not having to be driving, go big or go home. That's a different audience out there. So if there's 60 million of those people, approximately 60 million right now that are looking for that, then you say, well, I had a guy the other day said, well, I don't want to make $500 to $1,500 a month. I want to make $1,500 a day in an hour. And I said, congratulations, go get it over here. If these 60 million are over here, learn how to attract them and show them how to have residual income, not with just a team, how to have a residual income through customers every single month. Because you take all the gig world where the Ubers are, the Airbnbs and the Amazon affiliates and all of that, they're still trading dollars for hours, okay? Here in our space, because if you have enough retail profit for your team, where they can go out here and get a customer a week and make $500 to $1,000 a month, residual income, and add to that next year and add to that next year, that's how you make $1,500 a day. That's how you make $1,500 an hour. Learning how to attract these people into the environment that they feel worthy of and appreciated for.
This is that, you were talking about the culture, right? Talking about creating a culture. You want to have that culture in that environment, especially in this day and time right here, that people feel good, right? Not necessarily whenever they come in and they come into this environment, that they feel good about you for inviting them in, for inviting them to be a part of what you're doing, inviting them in to take your product, or inviting them in to share your opportunity. They feel good about it, whatever it is, whether that is the product, whether that is the opportunity, and feel good about themselves, and whether they buy or don't buy, whether they join or don't join, whether they go to the meeting or they don't go to the meeting, that they feel included and not excluded. And whenever you can create that kind of environment that you can feel good about you and them, you win.
When you can
and there's another part to this that's very, very important. And that is that thinking that everybody wants to think like you do and want what you have, and they don't. We have life circumstances that people don't pay attention to. We don't know if the dog is going to have to be put to sleep here in the next month or so. We don't know if the daughter has got some kind of breast cancer. We don't know if the job might be going. We don't know what's going on in their life. Okay, and so we have to go out there like we are gung-ho, go big or go home, let's do this, come up to that flagpole, all of that stuff. We don't take in consideration, and we're talking about relationships earlier, that you got to talk to them in a manner of whoever they are, okay, because of their life circumstances, and I call it give them a way to say no before you ask them to say yes. Give them a way to say no with dignity before you ask them to say yes to buy or not buy, like Taylor was saying. Be an established customer or a new customer, an established distributor or a new distributor, a struggling distributor or a successful distributor. They need to feel good about you for talking with them about what you're talking. They need to feel good about what you're talking about, and they need to feel good about themselves for whatever natural, logical conclusion that they come to that's right for them at that moment in time with their life circumstances. And that is a missing element in network marketing, that when this spike goes away, they're going to go into an environment out here in the gig world that provides that. And all this other stuff over here doesn't make people feel as good because we're rubbing it in their faces. You got to be like me Be on this vacation like me. Look at me on my jet. Oh, look at me in front of this new house. And there's people out there that are struggling, and they need this. You want relationship? You, it, and them. That's what we teach. That's one of the 6 pillars that we teach in our academy. You, it, and them. Money maker, heartfelt, personal. It's unbelievable. You learn these half a dozen things. It's remarkable.
That is magic. And every one of you, what's the website again? We're going to go to a break. What's the website again so they can go during the break and look you up? Because this is important stuff. What is it, Taylor?
Wealthbuilding.pro.
Wealthbuilding.pro. Go there. And then the book, where do we go to buy the book?
TheMillionaireTraining.com.
TheMillionaireTraining.com.
Now,
And if
just-
you can't spell
we're not collecting
millionaire,
money.
what's that?
We're not collecting any money, but this is just a way.
Reserved.
It's just reserved
Yeah.
your copies, and they're signed copies.
That's even better. And if you can't spell millionaire, you're never going to be able to make it. So learn to spell it. Go to
I
practice.
did. I couldn't spell it, and I did.
That is of no surprise to me. So here's the deal, everybody. This is a great couple. You can become a better version of yourself by getting real and learning the fundamentals instead of all the sound bites and all the stories out there with everybody trying to teach you to like stuff on Facebook and do all this goofy stuff. These guys teach you money-making activities that they do every day. And I'm looking at our buddy Armand on here. He's commenting on Facebook like it's going out of style. There's a guy that stays in culture and stays in fundamentals, and it works out. And what I want for you guys is to have it work out. And the way that it works out is you listening to Larry and Taylor and people like them. So we're coming back right after this. This is the Genesis Communication Network. This is the Network Marketing Leadership Show. We'll be right back.
Yay.
Bam, and we're back. Hello, Adrian.
Hello again. That was so good and so
it's crazy how good they are. And
Just-
Armand, we love you, buddy. You are a
Oh,
good
man,
man and a
he's-
great supporter of the show.
we love that guy.
Mark
So
Cohen, legend. Doug Starr, legend. Cheryl Kissel, older than dirt, but one of the great, she was talking about how much emphasis is not being put on customers. And Larry and Taylor talking about it the right way is absolutely the key to this business. So I love you, Cheryl, for commenting out there. Sorry to steal your commercial, Adrian, but these people are big, big friends of the show. Sven Goebel, you guys know him. Holy mackerel. So yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Audrey.
What's that?
I said, hey, Sven. Hey, Audrey.
Yeah, pretty crazy. So yeah, good stuff. So go ahead, Adrian.
So I was just going to say, I mean, talk about what Larry and Taylor were just sharing in relation to that idea of, leaving every person better than you found them, and how that just dovetails perfectly into some of the stuff we're talking about in the coffee shop interview.
Yeah.
To you, Tom.
Oh,
He was listening to me as usual.
I was listening to you wholeheartedly. So in the coffee shop interview, the 7th commandment, if you go to the coffee shop interview and you buy that ebook of Adrian's, or it might even be somewhere else on contactmapping.com for free, so you can save 99 cents. But the 7th commandment is this: leave every human being that you meet feeling better about their life than when they got there.
Yes.
So that's all you have to do. Drop people where they want to be, not where your agenda takes them, and you're going to win the day. I didn't realize that was a question for me, Adrian. I feel humble. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
right.
But it's 100%. It's so important. And in a world where people are going to have options about where they go and do some kind of side gig, side hustle, side whatever, to find a way to earn a little bit of money on the side that maybe turns into a lot of money on the side if they play their cards right down the line. They want to go where they're appreciated. They want to go where they feel like they are a part of something. And network marketing is the perfect vehicle for that if we do it the right way, but it's the worst vehicle in the world if all we're doing is, making people feel like they're not enough, or they're not doing enough, or that they can't be successful, or whatever that is. And so that's the name of the game, is have people feel loved, appreciated, and like they're a part of a tribe, right?
Absolutely. I mean, especially whenever we're talking about customers, and so many times, people start thinking that, well, if I lose a customer, I can just go get another one. And, you know, I was always taught there's a penny in the sale, but there's a fortune in the follow-up. And so many times people have forsaken the follow-up because it's harder work. It's really the hard work, but that's where the real magic is. And to treat people like they're disposable, like, oh, I can just go get another customer, is really the wrong mindset and the wrong kind of environment that we want to bring people into. We want to bring people up to that people have value, no matter, and each customer has a value, and they need to be treated with that respect and with that dignity.
You want to get a doctorate in follow-up, a doctorate, not a master's degree, a doctorate. And I think I'm like the best follow-up person on the planet. Go to contactmapping.com. I'll teach you follow-up at a level you never thought possible on the front end of everybody else's training. Go to Larry and Taylor stuff. Go to their academy. But I'm telling you what, you go to contactmapping.com. It will change your life because you're going to finally have access to follow-up that you can wrap your hands around. So we're going back right now. And we're back. It's Tom Chenault, and it is the Network Marketing Leadership Show final segment with Larry and Taylor Thompson, who are absolutely the cat's meow. I mean, I love this couple. I love how they love each other. I love how they love their daughters. I love how they live their life. I love their intensity after all these years. They are who I want to be when I grow up, and they're younger than me. It is unbelievable what they've accomplished. And it's unbelievable what they state they have yet to do. And I want you to think about that for yourself, because this business is far more than a paycheck. It is a legacy you're leaving for your family and for the planet. And these people embody that culture and that thought process. So we got about 5 minutes left, you guys. Take it away.
Well, I thank you so much.
You see who led the way, right? I'm about ready to talk, and you see what happened. They took the mic right out of my hand.
I saw
Okay,
it.
let you go.
No, go ahead.
No, I thank you so much, Tom, and I appreciate you sharing that. And I think now more than ever, we both have that same feeling that we get so excited, and especially whenever we see the people that are inside of our community, inside of our wealth building community. First of all, leaders that have been around, that are 6- and 7-figure earners that have been lost and have lost their way, come in and start to love what they're doing again. They start to have the passion for why they came into this business to begin with. That they've lost their way, and more importantly, whenever they come in and start learning these concepts, and their team starts working these concepts, that their team is winning, and they see the people that haven't signed anybody up or haven't gotten new customers, and they're getting new people, and they've got smiles on their faces. They absolutely love what they're doing again, and that's what gets us fired up.
And you're talking about seeing your people win, and in normal network marketing, Lamborghini bikini world, winning is when they get to be silver, gold, and platinum, and they get the car and they get the vacation. Okay, you got to get the people to win where the most people are. 80% of the people are down here for $500 to $1,500 a month. There's where they got to win. The 15 and the 5, that's where the money is, knowing how to deal with that group and keeping it consistent, and understand that this group wants to belong to a community. They want to feel appreciated. We've said that several times, okay? But if you go sticking all the success in their faces, either they're comparing themselves to you and don't feel like they don't compare, okay? Or and they don't think they can do it as good as you do, and they default themselves away. Or some people up here, okay, compare themselves and they think they're better than everybody else that's up here. So you got to be really concerned about the comparison, especially down here where the people are, okay? That's where the fun is. These people will not leave you if they feel appreciated, not with words, but with behavior, okay, with appreciation and understanding that they can go out there and get those customers and get residual income from customers. That is vital. You don't need customers for regulatory. That's a byproduct. You need customers because that's where the audience is. That's where it is.
What's crazy is he's so 1,000% right. And this COVID pandemic has brought that into such focus because people are isolated, they're alone, they're hopeless, and they're scared. and then they walk onto your Zoom every day and they see that they're part of something. They're in a tribe where they are safe, where they can trust you, that they feel loved, and that they belong. Everything that Taylor and Larry just talked about. And all of a sudden, they've got something to hold on to, not a paycheck, but a community and a tribe. And what these people are talking about with that culture of embracing that level of people down there and make them feel like queen or king for a day, I'll tell you what, not only are you gonna create unbelievable glue in your organization, you might be saving lives. And my life has changed through this pandemic because now I'm doing Alcoholics Anonymous online in the same way that I'm doing my business. And it's astounding to me how identical they both are. All we really want to do is be loved. All we want to do is be able to be in a tribe where we belong, no matter what we look like, no matter what color our skin is, our sexual orientation, our politics. We just want to belong. And that's what I love about Larry and Taylor. They epitomize that. And I want you to find them and join them and follow them and learn from them and Ron Henley and that crew, because they are incredible. So you guys, thank you so much for coming on this show. We love you to death. And the time's flown by because you two inspire the world.
Wow. Thank you, Tom. Thank you so much. I just love you and your family. I love, your beautiful wife. We had such an amazing time together whenever we traveled to Africa on our trip. And, you're so blessed with your family and everything that you've been through. But I just have so much respect for you and how you truly serve the people through your journey. And how you've been able to be that hand up and that light, that beacon of light for so many around you that are desperately needed. So thank you so much for being so vulnerable and transparent to be that impact for those around you that need it.
Yeah, and I appreciate the opportunity to be on the show with you guys because we love your attitude, we love your philosophy, we love what you stand for, and we love to share the story. We just love it. And we want to help as many people as we can, but we also want them accountable. We accountability. You talked about Alcoholics Anonymous. They got the love, but they got to be accountable.
Yeah.
Okay? You want the love for the 80, 15, and 5, but they got to be accountable.
Amen, everybody. So Jeff Alperger's next week. He's also a rock star, several $1 million earner. We are going to keep teaching you until the cows come home. We love you all. We'll see you all next week on the Tom Chenault Network Marketing Leadership Show. We'll see you later. Thanks.
Bye.
And you guys are so great. The show's over. You can start cussing. We're done with the FTC. Unbelievable.
Thank you. Thank you. That was so awesome. It's always so much fun. I can't believe how fast it went by.
Yeah, and you in Africa with my wife, she just talks about it all the time, going to Tanzania, really watching your struggle. I wanted to talk about it on the show, but obviously it flew by too quick. But what you endured just to get to Africa, missing flights and all the stuff that went on. Taylor, your stock with me, it was unbelievable. That's all I want to tell you. You're amazing.
Well, thank you. And so maybe we can do the She Network sometime and we can talk about the She Network and because this is the little book that your beautiful wife sent me. This is like it's a little journal and I just got it. And
My wife made that?
Yes. And she just sent it to me. It's like,
it's a beast.
Isn't
I
that
didn't know about it. Yeah. Good.
Isn't that so cute? She
She's
just sent it to me.
I just love her.
I know. She's so amazing. And we just had such a great time. I hope we get the opportunity to do something
What
like
is
that.
the She Network? We got time. Talk about that for a few minutes.
Okay, so I just launched a women's network and it's called the She Network and it's an acronym for Sharing Her Excellence Network.
Wow.
And it's for empowering, encouraging, and edifying women entrepreneurs. And so I have a showcase of women. Like I've been doing interviews in there with women, top tier women, like them all, like all of my relationships, my collateral relationships that I built, like had your beautiful wife on there.
Yeah.
And so basically what we're doing is we're just talking about the struggle, because sometimes people look at us like, Denise or me or like, and they think, oh my gosh, their life is perfect, but they don't realize the journey. They don't know the tears on the pillow. They don't know the struggles that it took to get there. So we share the stories inside of the network, and then we offer trainings. And so it's a way for us to collaborate and not compete. It's a way for us to share all of our excellence with other women and help them through their journey.
You're always sending presents to my house. Why don't we have the He Network? I mean, I've never gotten any of those gifts in my life.
Hey, I just send the money for me, man. Just send the money.
Unbelievable. Yeah, you guys are good at it. What's the website for that?
It's called myshenetwork.com.
And you also went to Tanzania with about 8 other women to do microloans. And I mean, you are dead serious about this, right?
Well, and so because the membership, because so I have a free group, but then I have a membership platform, and then I'm taking 10% of the proceeds each month, and that are going to the Project Concern International, which is the women empowerment. That's going to be supporting them. So that was, my involvement to do something to really empower women, and not just from a charity perspective, but through a full movement that women and micro businesses that other women could get behind, and really make a difference in other women's lives, even not just locally, but globally.
You guys, I love you both so much. I'll get down to Dallas. I'll take you out to dinner. I just can't tell you how much I appreciate you being on the show. So thanks a lot, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Take care.
Adrian, I still need to get with you. I'm sorry we didn't connect. So I still need to get with you with your app and stuff. Okay. So if you just
all right, let's circle back.
Okay, let's do that. Okay.
Okay, thank you guys.
All right.
Appreciate it.
All right, we're out of
Love
here.
you guys.
Thanks, you
Take
guys.
care.
Adrian, good job.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Contact
Please,
Matt.
I love
I'll do it. That was fun.